Hi everybody, welcome to Psych Student Reacts. In this series, I react to TikTok videos related to mental health. How this works is I search in the TikTok search bar for various topics related to mental health, and I scroll through the top videos and react to them in real time, and I'll even pause and kind of explain and even give my own 2 cents or experience on the topic. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it's episode 9. Anyways, welcome to episode 9 of Psych Student Reacts. I believe that is right. That is right. Okay, sorry. Episode 9 of Psych Student Reacts, and since this episode will be premiering the last Monday of June, I decided to do Pride Month and mental health, a combination, because it is really important. Pride Month is the month of June, and it's a time whenever we can celebrate everybody, celebrate all love, because, love. And I really wanted to focus on mental health, obviously, because it plays a lot with psychology. And with Pride Month, we're going to basically just kind of see how this goes and what kind of TikToks come up. Obviously, what I did was I typed Pride Month and mental health in the TikTok search bar, and it brought up videos. And so we're going to see what kind of videos it gives us. And and we'll see how it goes. By the way, before we get started, like my hair, I decided to get it cut. I also got a couple of highlights put in, but aside from that, it's not styled right now. So this is how it looks without me actually styling it. I really like it. It's a nice change. It's refreshing. Anyways, moving forward, let's go. So, surprisingly enough, June is also Men's Mental Health Month. And that's a really interesting topic to bring up, because men's mental health, it's really hard to actually have a good grasp on the statistics regarding men and the quality of their mental health, because there's still a stigma, depending on what part of the United States that you're in, probably even what part of the world that you're in. Sometimes men don't feel safe enough to be open and vulnerable about their mental health. So that's something that we really, we struggle with whenever we're looking at specific statistics. It's kind of hard to have a fair and accurate number, because there's no telling how many men are too afraid to be honest about how they feel, or how many men just feel like they can't be vulnerable because they feel like they'll be emasculated if they do show vulnerability. So it's a really important topic. However, we're focusing on pride. So let's move forward.
Hey, did you know June is Men's Mental Health Month? No, it's actually Pride Month. There is no Men's Mental Health Month. Are you kidding me?
I'm not liking the general vibe of these TikToks. This is the second one, that they're trying to prioritize one type of mental health over the next. And it's not about that. Like it says in the caption, I know my little video floating head is covering the caption, but it says, yes, Pride Month is important, but there shouldn't be any competition. No, There shouldn't be competition. We should be able to place emphasis and awareness on both men's mental health and Pride Month mental health. We also have to think about the population who's literally being targeted by people, by, what's the word? By extremist groups. The LGBTQ plus community has been the topic, the center of many arguments in the Supreme Court, in lots of state Congress sessions, even in the U.S. Congress. So what we need to do is focus on both. We can focus on men's mental health and Pride Month. That doesn't have to be one or the other.
It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but it's also Pride Month, which happens to be celebrating a community that I am part of. So you want me to stop celebrating me so I can talk about you. You do know that there are men in the community. Right. If you want women to care, stop telling them to put down everything just so they can pay attention to you. I will care when men fucking care. There are some great creators on here that are men and talk about men's mental health. And the majority of y'all are in the fucking comment section bullying them and bullying people for it, calling them weak for talking about feelings, or calling them beta males. You think that is doing men any fucking good? I encourage men year-round to talk about their feelings, talk to somebody professional if they need to raise their voice, not to fear femininity and associate it with weakness. And that if they're not weak or beta, if they want to wear nail polish, or God forbid if they're actually nice to women, it doesn't make them fucking weak men. It is so draining caring about somebody who doesn't care about them fucking selves. So when men care, we will care. It is.
I don't think I could have said it any better than myself. So, I mean, exactly. Like, yes, it's both. And the first comment over here on this side, he said, I wonder if that commenter realizes how many months have more than one theme. You can encourage mental wellness and support the queer community. Wild. So exactly, that's exactly my point. So many people don't know, or some people might know, that I'm also an intern for somebody in Congress, not the U.S. Congress, my local state Congress. And one of my assignments I had to do was put together an event calendar listing all of the major holidays, awareness months, awareness days, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Upon doing this assignment, I learned that there are so many different awareness months. We only have 12 months in a year, right? Okay. Obviously, those months have to overlap with some other awareness of some sort. Mental health awareness, suicide prevention awareness, Women's History Month, Black History Month, Pride Month. There's so many different things, okay? And eventually all of these different awareness months overlap each other. So, we can focus on both. And this creator made a really good point. We can focus on men's mental health 24/7, just like we should with mental health and pride. These should all be practices that we're putting into our daily lives. You should just be a decent person and be able to support things that's going to be for the better of all and not just one. So, with that being said, happy Pride Month. Okay, let's move on. Again, what is with this? It doesn't have to be one or the other. Okay.
Hey, happy Pride Month. Yeah, of course, but did you know it's also men's mental health? Of course I know. Just let you know. It's also PTSD Awareness Month. That's crazy. Actually, I never knew that. Bro, who knew? Yeah, it started in 2010. Not many people know about it because it's so recent. But like Pride Month, like Men's Mental Health Month, bring awareness to post-traumatic stress disorder. Hey.
Exactly. Okay. So, it's just furthermore, it just further proving a point. It's also PTSD Awareness Month. So, it's like, yeah, we can focus on men's mental health. We can focus on pride. We can also focus on PTSD awareness because a lot of people don't fully understand how PTSD can affect everybody and how it affects people differently. Just like men's mental health and just like pride, just because if somebody celebrates pride, it doesn't mean that they're only supporting gay people. It also means that they're celebrating bisexual people, transsexual people, transgendered people, lesbians, that's the L in the LGBTQ. So yeah, like there's just, come on, there's, we have to be aware of everything.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, buckle some more. 1, 2.
Men's Mental Health Month is in November. You're thinking of Men's Health Month.
Yeah, sometimes these algorithms are weird.
June is Men's Mental Health Month, but have you noticed how nobody has talked or posted about it?
I have to pause from the last video before this one starts because this person really just claimed that nobody's talking about Men's Mental Health Month whenever we literally just scroll through like the majority of the top search content was regarding Men's Mental Health Month. Like Pride Month and mental health has not had its own standalone TikTok thus far, I'm pretty sure. So I'm really confused at what that person was even talking about.
I wanted her to look at me, but she couldn't pull her eyes away from you and your stupid hair. I wanted her to...
I mean, finally, that's like something that's not saying Men's Mental Health Month. But like I said, the whole point of me posting this, of me doing this, is because it's, I like to celebrate pride, okay? And men's mental health should just be talked about no matter what. And I specifically searched Pride Month and mental health, and it just seems weird. But so finally, we have something that doesn't mention men's mental health, but it's still very vague. So I honestly don't even know what to say about this one, other than it, dealing with, like relationships. Like, as if anybody has, if anybody is out or has come out as anyone, as any type of person, in the LGBTQ spectrum, you might know the struggle of, like falling in love with somebody who's the same sex as you. They're your best friend. But the only issue is that either A, they're not attracted to you, they're not interested in you, or B, they aren't, they're just not into the same sex or the same gender. So it's a struggle. That really is a struggle. And that can affect your mental health. So like I'm trying to find the connection here, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So the connection here, the struggle of like learning not to be in like, not learning how not to be in heteronormative relationships, but getting used to, like, if you're going to come out as gay and, you think it's going to be so much different, and it turns out it's not at all what you expected. And, it can create tension. It can create stress. And it can create a lot of confusion too, which is why having support is super important.
Every time I tell myself I'm no longer somebody has to post something really funny that I must make a response, okay? First of all, this is one of the most rated posts I've seen in a lifetime because it could have both those things at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Second of all, why do you think those men are committing suicide? Or, in another way, what is the majority of men, what kind of men are committing those suicides? Because I assure you, most of those men, and if you look at statistics, it will back me up. Most of those men committing suicide are gay men, or trans men, or questioning men who simply are in the community that do not feel okay with their identity or the way that they're being treated in the society. That's not to say that straight men don't struggle at all. However,
Great point. Great point. I don't have much else to say to add on that, but we're gonna finish the rest of the video. But I wanted to note that that's exactly what I was trying to say. That, you know, that goes also in part of saying that, you know, a lot of reasons, like it's hard to gather like accurate statistics whenever we're looking at men's mental health. And a lot of that, like whenever they're talking about the suicide rates of men, and how, yeah, the majority of, you know, of people committing suicide is men. But they don't look at is like what communities do these men belong to who are committing suicide. And she raises a really, really good point, because that's fairly accurate in a majority of the statistics that I have seen. But that's one of those things. That's one of those things why we can't necessarily get an accurate number, because heteronormative men, or heterosexual men, cis-het men, there we go, cis-het men generally have a hard time being very open about their emotions. And yeah, like that's how, you know, so you have to think about those types of like implications that are coming from that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's finish the video.
Most of the men who are struggling are usually in the community. And you want to know why they're struggling? It's because of straight men. It's because of their peers, their counterparts, that they're either bullied, they're not accepted, or, you know, somehow, some way, they just don't feel okay within their communities. And she isn't the only one of her kind that thinks this way. A lot of Muslims think that we do not need a Pride Month, or that it's an useless thing, especially when Men's Month is around, I guess. But the problem lies in the fact that you guys don't realize the issue. You really don't realize how much hate and like indifference you feel towards these people. You feel sympathy towards men because your father's a man, your brother's a man, maybe you're married, you have a fiance, he's a man, but you don't realize gay people are all around you too. I promise you, because you're Middle Eastern and Muslim, they might not be out, but it's your cousin that's gay. It's your friend of a friend that you know through that never gets married. He's gay. It's somebody that you feel actually love for. You don't know because they don't feel good enough about you that they don't come out to you, but they're gay. So yeah, you don't feel sympathy for them because you simply never befriended a gay person. And that's okay, you don't have to, but just know you already have one in your life, most likely. You don't have to run around with a pride flag, you don't have to go to all those whatever, you don't have to say, I'm proud of you, and raise your hand, but you have to know this month is needed for a reason, and you're one of those. Every time I tell
Facts.
someone,
Okay, sorry. I was trying to read the comments. I was really caught off guard because I couldn't understand exactly what the caption was saying. So, this person says, can someone explain why I've seen over 5 TikToks about men's mental health month being more important than Pride Month? Why are we seriously putting down Pride Month for this when we can celebrate both at the same time? People within the LGBTQ plus have faced oppression for absolute centuries. To see this now, when we finally feel as if it's a little more accepted in the world. Exactly. Like it doesn't make sense. Like, we can literally both celebrate 2 things at the same time. Like in November, my birthday is in November. I celebrate the whole month for my birthday just because sometimes I can't dedicate a whole day to celebrating myself. And so I like to celebrate myself a little bit in between. Sometimes I have like doctor's appointments on my birthday and stuff that will take up like the whole entire day. So yeah, like I will celebrate my month little bit by little bit throughout the whole month of November. Does that mean that I don't stop and say happy birthday to anybody else whose birthday is in November? Does that mean that I don't stop and celebrate Veterans Day and Thanksgiving? Does that mean that, I don't know, are there any other holidays in November? Does that mean that I don't vote whenever it's election time just because it's my birthday month? Like, no. I'm still a very active member of my community. I'm still, taking my time in activities and doing my work and celebrating everybody else who isn't me as well. So, exactly, like we can do 2 things at once. You can even do 3 things at once. You can celebrate 3 things at once. Have you ever known somebody whose birthday is on Christmas and they do birthday and Christmas at the same time? It's the same thing. You can celebrate 2 things at once. Oh, so what's really frustrating about this? Because, and I know this is usually not how I do my Psych student react videos, but I think I have finally found a major issue. Like, there's a major issue here. And I'm not just saying that. Like, maybe I'm a little sensitive about this. Maybe I'm just a little sensitive about this because I live in a state where women are constantly put down. I live in a state where women barely have rights. I mean, we have rights. We can vote, we can drive, we can show ourselves in public, whatever. Okay. And I'm sorry, like I'm getting a little bit on my soapbox here. Just because, like, I just don't understand why it has to be one way or another. Like, what if all of these creators just compiled all of the awareness for June and put it in one post? We can talk, or, like you can create a TikTok for each awareness thing without having to put down the other. You can say Happy Pride Month without saying, no, it's Men's Mental Health Month, or no, it's PTSD Awareness Month. Like, you can do all 3. You can do all 3. So, like, there's a big issue here. There's so many people, and maybe it's just because maybe it's a TikTok trend. Who knows? Maybe it's just a trend. But it's toxic. It can create so much toxicity. It creates division. And yes, some of my political activism is coming out here, but you have to understand that that is exactly what this country, America, is doing. It's creating division. And what better way to do that than to put men against the LGBTQ plus community? Can nobody else see this? Can nobody else see the toxicity that is literally culminating right now? Because it's not okay. I'll tell you that. And I don't support that. I don't support the toxicity as a wellness coach. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be a little bit more rough in this episode. But it's a little frustrating. We've seen a lot of TikToks throughout this series. And different topics. And this is the one topic that you can clearly see a line. And there's very few people who see it equally. So I have to describe why I'm so passionate about this. Well, a small component as to why I'm so passionate about this. I know a person. I'm not even going to talk about our relation, like how we're related, but we're related. And this person literally puts men on a pedestal for everything, over everything, everything. No equality. Nope. Women and men are not equal. Nope. And I will say that this is a female relative. And I honestly don't know what their stance is on the LGBTQ plus community, but I can imagine that is probably the same as all of these other people who are constantly putting men's mental health over Pride mental health, LGBTQ plus mental health, because that's what Pride Month is also for, is also about focusing on the LGBTQ plus community and the kind of resources that they're able to have, the type of accessibility to resources that they can have. And in specific areas, in certain areas, especially more conservative areas, sometimes you can't get quality mental health if you're a part of the LGBTQ plus community. So anyways, let's do one more video and then we'll call it good. How's that?
Do you know what I find funny? Is that it's Men's Mental Health Month.
I'm skipping that video. I don't understand y'all homophobes. Y'all stay mentioning veterans not having a month when they multiple. But you really bring that false fact up. But when it's Pride Month, because y'all can't stand us celebrating how we got rights to be who we want to be. Ain't our fault. Y'all don't want to celebrate nor support the people who fought for us. Again, I'm sorry, I'm just having a little hard time understanding. They didn't focus. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. But this is the point here. Again, it gets all messed up. You look at the comments. You see these TikToks. There's just constant division, and it's so weird. But anyways, I am sorry that this was supposed to be kind of a celebratory episode, and TikTok was just not having it. So, as we can see, TikTok is definitely on a divisive territory here, or at least this burner account that I'm using, because I literally don't use this account for anything but these videos, but making these videos. So it's a little weird, a little confusing. I don't know. Anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week on episode 10, and we have 3 more episodes. Anyways, I'll start getting to work on a new series. I'll see you all next week. Bye!